NC State University saw 2 sexual assaults in less than 24 hours on campus this week. The first incident happened shortly after midnight early Monday morning in Owen Residence Hall. The second happened just before 10:30 Monday night at Lee Hall. University police do not believe the two are related. Experts say the beginning of the new school year is a time when colleges see the most instances of sexual assault. In fact, they call it the red zone.
It's the time that school starts until Thanksgiving break. And unfortunately, we see more sexual violence on campus than any other time. But when students first come to school, oftentimes it's their first time away from parents. There's a lot of alcohol facilitated sexual violence. We do see a lot of repeat offenders on college campuses, people that really take advantage and that use alcohol as a tool to facilitate sexual assault.
The nonprofit group called PAVE, which stands for Promoting Awareness Victim Empowerment, says 26% of undergraduate women, 25% of undergraduate non-binary students, and 6% of undergraduate men experience sexual assault during college. There's a product, though, that you can get that can help your student be just a little bit safer. It's called the Nightcap. It's a reusable cover that goes over an entire glass so that no one can put anything in it. It has a hole just big enough for the straw. A student invented it after hearing horror stories about drink spiking from teachers and friends.
I grabbed my mom's pantyhose and a scrunchie from my room and I kind of just put it together. You would have to like lift this all up here and someone would be watching you while you're doing it.
You can order Nightcap scrunchies on their website. They also offer keychains and even a disposable sticker option. Well, from life as a student to the professional world, unfortunately, the threat of sexual harassment does not go away. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center says 38% of women, 14% of men have reported sexual harassment in the workplace. President Joe Biden signed the Speak Now Act into law in December. That allows employees to be released from certain NDAs to report harassment. Jerika Duncan introduces us to 2 women who spent years trying to get that law passed.
We don't believe that there's a place for NDAs to cover up bad behavior at work.
For Gretchen Carlson and Julie Rogensky, the Speak Out Act is about changing a culture rooted in silence.
So that if you are one of the millions of workers in America who signed a non-disclosure agreement on your very first day of work, you now are able to raise your hand and say, my boss or my colleague is sexually harassing me or I was sexually assaulted, and nobody's going to be able to prevent you up until the moment that you file a lawsuit.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
Before the Speak Out Act, you really couldn't tell anyone about sexual assault or sexual harassment in the workplace. Because if you spoke out and you knew about these clauses, you knew you could be sued. Also, there's an atmosphere of fear about speaking out and being the only voice that maybe you'll never work again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gretchen Carlson.
In 2016 and 2017, Carlson and Rogensky came forward with sexual harassment claims against Fox News. The women allege former Fox News chief Roger Ailes sexually harassed them. Ailes and his attorneys denied the accusations before he died in 2017.
When Gretchen first filed her lawsuit, I was still at Fox, and I had 2 thoughts when that lawsuit was filed. My first thought was, oh my God, this poor woman, we'll never see her again. My second thought, which I couldn't voice to anybody except myself, was, oh my God, so it's not just me. It's not just me.
Does the Speak Out Act do enough?
No.
No.
The Speak Out Act only addresses harassment and assault, and it's only for NDAs that you sign on your first day of work up until you file a legal process. This does not address NDAs for all other disenfranchised groups. Any kind of racial discrimination, age, disability, LGBTQ+, gender. This does not address that at all.
Carlson and Rogensky also are not protected under the new law. That's because they signed NDAs during settlements with Ailes and Fox News.
What would change if you were able to talk about what happened to you?
We can't even tell you that because we can't tell you what we know and we can't tell you what we would talk about if we could. A lot of things would change, but what those things are, we can't tell you.
In 2016, Fox News publicly apologized to Carlson. Her settlement was for a reported $20 million.
An article written in Times Magazine in 2016, Gretchen had the headline, How Gretchen Carlson's $20 million settlement is a ripoff. Is there any amount of money worth someone's silence? ever?
I think we would answer that question now, no.
No, no.
We wish that we had our voices, but at the time, that was just the way the system worked. And that's why we're trying to dismantle it.
If you or someone that you know is a victim of sexual assault, you can get in contact with the National Sexual Assault Hotline. That number is right now at the bottom of your screen. It's 1-800-656-4673. WFMY News 2 at 6 is next.